Hi guys, happy Monday. Yeah, happy Monday. My favorite day, I don't know why. Moon day, so obviously. Alright, so we're gonna go back into the traditional witchcraft forum. This is incredible stuff. This is all, I really think this is all, yes, this is by Robin Artisan. And it's amazing. He's amazing. Forgetting Human, a treatise on finding the soul, the witch flight, the language of the spirit world. So we're going to start with a couple passages. Thank you, Robin, for all of these wonderful, amazing passages on traditional witchcraft. You are amazing. And it's because of you that I've started my traditional witchcraft journey a long time ago. So if I can get closer to the camera here and not, like, sweat to death. Alright, now, a great sorcerer known to me. Alright, now, so he says, let me start this next part by telling you about my greatest human teacher. His name is David Abram. And let me start by saying that if you've not read his books, and if you happen to have plenty, have extra $20, at this moment, stop reading, go to Amazon.com and order his 2 books. The first is called The Spell of the Sensuous, and the second is called Becoming Animal, an Earthly Cosmology. Mr. Abram doesn't know me. He didn't put me to to market his books. I've only learned from him by reading his words. So, the same with me, with Robin, with you, so thank you. Alright, so, but his words have done more for me in 18 years to awaken the sorcerer's power in me, and in this world around me, than any other written words. So, without his books, I really, really feel like I not be as deeply involved in sorceress mysteries as I am now, and trust me, I'm ass deep. I'm deep in something so amazing no words can ever encapsulate it. But it was Mr. Abram, along with a few select others, who put the seeds in my mind that bloomed into a forest of mystery and wonder. So put a seed in the mind, let it bloom, let it blossom, let it sprout. That's the astral. So, alright. Now, Abram's books are about so many important things to us, so I can't even begin to do it justice. But needless to say, if you are a lover of the modern revival of pagan religion, or mysticism, or of sorcery, you will discover from his books why we live in a world where the old tales of gods, fairies, of elves and trolls, of heroes and monsters seem so absent of meaning, and why this world seems so empty of anything but human intelligences, if you can call them that. I like that. And some animals wandering here and there. A gaggle of chickens running through the kitchen. Okay, so more importantly, Abram, a real sorcerer himself, can plant the seeds of real magic in you that may tear your soul out of your body and cast you into a cauldron of initiation. A cauldron that looks outwardly a lot like the stand of trees behind your home or at a local park. I have a lot of trees around me. And a lot like the river near you or that river in your dreams. So, he says, I say with no reservations whatsoever that Abram's 2 books are the most powerful grimoires of art that I have ever had the fateful privilege of reading and learning from. So please take my advice and let these books enter you at the soonest possible date. Okay, now I'm very intrigued. I must have these books. Okay. Now, following the guiding thoughts of Abram, I will begin by talking briefly about why we can't find our souls and why most of us live without them every day. If you want sorcery, the power to talk to other entities, entities that other people can't see, the power to know the truth about people and places, and to drive away illness and wicked other than human powers, and speak to the wind itself, you need your soul. So many talk about working tools, even in the past, Robin did, but the real most fundamental tool is not a blade or a cup, not a book nor a candle, but a soul. So now we have, whew, a little warm in here. I don't know what's going on with me. Very warm. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So tearing apart the false gods. Interesting. This is very, very good stuff right here. So, alright, now a lot of people tell me that when they have gained a lot of insight from previous books that I've written, I talk about the soul in those books in many ways, but I wish that, like all writers, that I could go back and change a lot of what I said in my books. Me too. I have evolved in my understanding and practice since those books were written, agreed. A lot of what is in them is still just as true as rain or sunset, but a few things to me are, clumsily worded or too overcomplicated, and that reflects my insight and skill all those years ago. So you are a work in progress, just like I am. So what I am going to talk about briefly here, and what people like Abram greatly can expand upon for you, is some stuff I wish I had said before. I do too, I have that too. I've evolved, and I'm not rewriting a book. I might write an article, but I'm not going to rewrite a book. Maybe. Okay, he says, now let me proceed to tear apart so many things that so many people believe today, and which they allow to inform their deepest thinking. Souls are real, and we all have one. Or should I say, we all can experience something that I am calling soul. We can leave flimsy social constructs like ownership or possession out of this. It has nothing to do with that. And we, humans, aren't alone in this soul experience. Animals, plants, rocks, winds, storms, rivers, they experience something I am calling soul too. Makes sense. So, and they each do it just as intelligently and consciously as humans sometimes can. So, and this soul I am talking about is not an immaterial thing. It is not invisible, transcendent, above the world, non-material, beyond conception, none of that crap. I like him, because that kind of thinking is really crap, or to use the term I've become fond of, that kind of thinking is a hallucination. I love that. It is a very old hallucination that has been with humans for a very long time, and we learn so much on it. Every Christian or Muslim you may know who believes that the body is poor, fleshy material that dies, but the soul is an eternal, timeless, impartial thing that somehow drifts onto a heaven or a reality apart from the natural world of stones and rivers and fires. That is hallucinating. Wow. Why am I blurry? Wow, that's a little scary. These people, our idealists, our transcendental thinkers, are living a life of abstractions and ideas in their heads. They are not using or experiencing the soul, nor are they tapping into immediate reality, the true and real world of soul and experience. They are drifting through this world without really experiencing it fundamentally and fully. They are living in a... Where'd I go? They are living in a delusion, a hazy hallucination. They always have been for thousands of years. Wow. So the isolation and separation they feel from this beautiful and powerful natural world, full of spirits and gods and souls, and their impoverished mania desire for a transcendent God, who is far above all of these mortal things, is the result of a hallucination. Ironically, these desires and hallucinations are the true false gods that people waste their lives devoting themselves to. So not one of us is going to die and suddenly rise above the material world or the senses, nor will any of us plunge into eternal torment. The sensual world, what you are experiencing this very moment, though possibly dimly, is what is real, what was always real, and the only thing that will ever be real, and your soul is part of it. It was always a part of it, and it will always be part of it. So, interesting stuff to really think about. Really, really think about. So now we have the Deathless Wind. So your soul isn't immortal or immaterial. It is actually a wind, a breath. The psyche, soul, that's what that means. An airy seeming process of power. It's infused you from the time of your development in the bloody cavern of the sacred womb. It surged into you through the open communion of your new mouth when you first took your first breath, though it was there before too, and it will gently or harshly slip from you when the time has come to die. So to return to the world that it was drawn from in the first place. So pretty interesting stuff. So as I have said before, and will die saying, you didn't come into this world from somewhere else. You are something that came from within the depths of this world. And when you die, you don't leave this world. You go back into this world in a new way. Reincarnation. I don't want to reincarnate again. So you aren't going to be whisked away to a heaven high above the clouds, though the aerial breath-like soul may in fact fly the winds of the sky in freedom when you die, just as it does now, and can do now with your full consciousness if you are cunning. Your soul is a traveler. It's like the winds. It isn't still, quiet, and passive. And here is something else you need to know. The world itself has a breath, a soul, and your soul came into it, into you from it, and goes back into it all the time, in life and in death. Every time you breathe in, the world enters you as a breath, and when you breathe out, you pay the toll back. Heart breath. So, your process of respiration is a living, sorceress connection between you and not just the sky, winds and storms, but the breath in the ants or owls or cats that might be in your backyard, along with every animal everywhere in the world. And spirits unseen, yes. Your breath and, wow, they are moving in the same massive medium of world wind. You are connected to them. So whether you see it or feel it or not, your soul and your breath, which are very, very similar, are already flowing in and out of everything that exists. So, wow. But yeah, it's basically the psyche. That's what the soul is, or the psyche, something along those lines. Alright, now the ancient languages tell us that we need to know the Greek word for soul was psyche. Okay, so yes, which means, you guessed it, breath. It is related to the word physician, which means to breathe or to blow. Even among the ancient Hebrews, the word for the soul or spirit was rosh, which means breath. It was the breath of their God breathed into Adam and Eve to make them conscious living humans. Even one Latin word for soul, anima, like animism, which is where we get the words for animal, animation, and animism, whatever, comes from the Greek root animos, meaning wind. In ancient India, the term for soul, atom, which is related to our word atmosphere, means breath. The Latin word for spirit, spiritus, means breath. So how in the hell did we get from a worldwide and ancient understanding of the soul as something that was an extreme, tangible part of this world into understanding of the soul as something transcendent, not part of the world, impartial, or just mind? So today when we say psyche, we think mind and psychology. The science or study of the mind is well known, but the term psychology literally means science or study of the soul, if you go back to the origin of the word. Wow. So good luck finding many psychologists who think of themselves as soul scientists. Most of them are materialists, who think that the mind has nothing to do with an old, superstitious term like the soul. So they don't think that the mind is wind, or a breath, or a tangible entity. So to most, a mind is believed to be an invisible phenomenon of the brain, which vanishes forever at death, coming from nothing and going to nothing, as if such things could ever be possible. So it is true. It is true as the roaring of the ocean. When you forget the air, when you forget the soul, you forget the human, the very thing that endows us with what we fondly call our humanity. So, very interesting, very interesting. And yes, that's very true about psychologists and psychiatrists, well, psychologists and therapists, so it's very interesting. So tomorrow we will go on to the deadly change. But I think that's just incredible. I love his works, I love his blogs. They're just nice. I'm like, they're just nice. They're wonderful. They are. So, it's very interesting stuff. So, what do you guys think? Have you read any kind of books by him? If you haven't, do it. Such an amazing guy. So, but Alright guys, I love you all. I hope you guys have a great day. I love you all the way from Venus all the way back down. There we go. I can't make my hearts no more. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. So, everybody have a good day, and I love you all, and thank you guys for watching.